Hi guys, I'm Logan, and right now I've got two Bicentennial Kenworth K100s. The latest Bicentennial release from DCP right here, down at the bottom, it comes with the trailer, and this came out a little while ago. It's not brand new, but up high, I do have a brand new K100 VIT 200 anniversary, the Bicentennial edition from IXO Models. This is an all new release, all new tooling, and a first venture into 64th for IXO. And I thought, what a great idea, but why don't we just go on and compare the two? Now, the most obvious, the DCP does come with a trailer, while the IXO doesn't. DCP also is in this really cool box that has Bicentennial graphics. It's really nice. But is the big question that's going to come out of this video is the DCP really worth so much more than the IXO? Granted, yes, we do have a trailer and we don't have a trailer, but we're just going to compare cabs. Who did a better job on the K100? So let's open them both up and see. First, you'll notice that the IXO comes in a window box. That is a nice box. It has a plastic sleeve over it, and it is screwed to the base, unlike the two-piece blister that the DCP has. However, I did see a plastic blister inside it. Really nice packaging that IXO has come up with, and it holds the model very well. Just a note, the item number is 64TR005. And yes, there are more than these, and I'm going to do videos on the other ones as well. Comparisons, if I can, or just whatever we've got. Now you can see it does have the display base with a clear plastic display lid on it. IXO on top. It has what the model is. Kenworth K100 Aerodyne. And IXO on the base plate. Really, really good models. Now the DCP comes in a really nice package. It has Spirit of 76, the Bicentennial graphics all around on the front, on the ends, matches the striping on the truck, and then it has information about what the truck is, which you don't often see on DCP. Generally, their packaging is not nearly this fancy, but here we go. Item number on this Bicentennial one is 69-1602. There is no display box. There's, our display case in this one. Just a two-piece blister inside the box. Oh yeah, there is one other thing. The VIT comes with this nice little card, certificate. No screws in their packaging. It is just taped together. The two-piece blister is taped together and the items are put in there. And you got to be careful when you cut the tape. You don't want to cut the blister, which, believe it or not, sometimes is easier to cut that plastic blister than it is to cut the tape. So be careful when you do that. Another thing, DCP did include an extra set of mirrors, whereas IXO did not include any extra mirrors. So if you break them, you're kind of SOL with IXO, but not with DCP. You got another replacement set. Now that we have them both out of the package, you will note the DCP does have the trailer and the IXO doesn't. All right, now we'll look at the trailer first and get it out of the way. It was the 40-foot vintage refrigerated van. It's got the reefer up front. They put 1976 here, and then they got striping that matches the cab along the sides of the trailer. It rides on 10-hole chrome wheels with soft rubber tires. They painted the bottom gold, just like the tractor's frame, which, by the way, the VIT 200 Bicentennials had gold frames. And then they got the fuel tank for the reefer painted in silver. And when the W900 model came, it had the dry van, so you get both trailers. 1976 here. It has Bicentennial graphics here for on the mud flaps, which are white, and then the stripes go all the way around. Again, 1976 there. And then they painted the Thermo King reefer blue, and the stripes do go all the way around. Landing gear, typical screw down type. Also, the trailer has working suspension and rear doors. Then inside the back doors, you can see the refrigerated van interior, the aluminum floor that's insulated plus the insulated fiberglass walls. Now let's go on and start off with comparing the tractors. And you will notice right off the bat, the IXO here, which is closer, and then DCP back here, the IXO has antennas on the mirrors. The DCP has little spotlights. There's no spotlight on the IXO. This upper bar here, the upper grab bar, is a wire piece that's put on the DCP, whereas it's just molded in and tampoed silver on the IXO. Both hand grab bars are chrome plated plastic pieces added on later. They both ride on 10-hole chrome wheels. I do believe for once DCP's wheels are a little bit better because the holes are open where the holes are not open here. But the diameters, the DCP is a little bit bigger in diameter. You can judge it. That's a little bit bigger than that one, which the DCPs are actually out of scale. The IXO is actually probably right on scale for 64th. They both have chrome fuel tanks, and they did some black paint here on the bands. They did not do it there. The striping, very, very similar, but the VIT hits under the thing, this grab bar here, whereas it's in dead center there. So their striping should have been a little further over. Not really that big a deal. They both tampoed those silver and the door latch silver. There's no 76 here like there is on the DCP. They both have that VIT logo. This one is a little darker gold than this one. Not that big a deal. Up top, they both have chrome air horns, but there's a big difference. The marker lights, the bullet style roof lights on the DCP are molded into the cab. They tampo the back portion silver and then the front portion yellow for the amber lenses. Whereas on the IXO, they are the outer ones are individual parts, and then it's a 3-part piece for the middle, chrome plated, and then they put little Tamiya clear orange for amber lenses. Those lenses actually look better than the other ones. They gold outlined the upper windows there, but they did not. They just painted them black up here. They both have the little piece there, but the IXO has the curved up airfoil, which the DCP does not. Slipping underneath, you'll notice one major difference right off the bat. The DCP frame is painted in gold. Now, this one came out after DCP was acquired by First Gear, but back when DCP was still owned by Fred Ertl III, they did another Bicentennial truck, and that one had a black frame, so we're about the same. They also painted the bottom of the engine brown and the transmission red, whereas they just left everything black here. They do have pretty much similar detail underneath. No working suspension. Really and truly, it kind of wobbles a little because the axles are loose, but no springs in there. It does have the drive shafts, differentials, air brake canisters on the axles, frame rails, air tanks. Very similar in detail level to the DCP. I think their tread pattern is a little better here on the IXO over the DCP. Now, DCP somewhere on the frame has it molded in what it is, that it is a DCP, whereas this one they just put a tampo of IXO Models right there on the fuel tank. That's okay. You got to expect them to have their company name there on the model. There's also a little bit of casting in their text. Probably says Kenworth K100. Then no steering. Positional steering on DCP, no steering here. To me, I like this better than this because the truck will actually roll straight, but I know a lot of guys love this. Both got spring front suspension detail. Yes, the detail is a little better on the DCP, but this is more than enough if you ask me. Lube finder, oil filter there, and air filter there. Mud flaps and mud flaps. They very similar, but DCP does win a little bit there. Cab interiors both have full interiors. This one is painted in silver, and you can really see in with those extra lights. There's a bunk in the back and 2 high back seats, black steering wheel, gray dash. Whereas this one has black interior, black molded interior, high back seats, steering wheel, dash, bunk in the back, and you can still see through because the extra light. If it was gray inside, you'd probably see it better because it would definitely show out better. Now, both have the gull wing tapered in bumpers. This one, they put a license plate on the IXO, where they did not put a license plate on the DCP. However, DCP has started to kind of put license plates on trucks. They both have visors, but it's a different style visor on the IXO over the DCP. The DCP windshield wipers here, they are just plain molded in and tampoed in silver. IXO used photo etched windshield wipers. Now it looks like they glued them on very well. I have a love-hate with that. The IXO, I'm not sure that's a great idea. It looks better. I give them 100%. These photo etched windshield wipers look better than this, but they do have a tendency to flick off. I remember that from the Neos. The Neos would flip off really easily. They both have the Kenworth logo in the top of the grill. This one kind of sits on front of the cab, whereas this one's recessed into the cab. Both have individual dual style headlights, 2 on each side. And so that's pretty similar. They tampoed the driving lights here in white, whereas DCP did not. The air horns are a little bigger in diameter than the DCPs. No biggie. And of course, you can see the antennas on the IXOs. Over to the passenger side, similar graphics, pretty much the same. Although they did tampo Kenworth on this toolbox door here, which I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. Steps, battery boxes, and other stuff right there. Really, really nice truck. I'm impressed. This K100, if you ask me, is as good as the DCPs. When you adjust for pricing, the little bit of difference, you're not losing it. Yes, they did some more trim painting here than IXO did, but so what? DCP brought the stripes all the way around, whereas IXO didn't. They've got the 76 where the IXO doesn't. And then they've got some gold painting here on the piping, whereas they just left it chrome, and all they did was paint this air tank in black. Both have grab bars to climb up there. These are molded in plastic. These are them little wire loops. I kind of like these. They look a little better. They both have deck plates. And they both have, basically, if you'll notice, the same length chassis. DCP did quarter fenders, while IXO did half fenders. And yeah, but it still looks like, that the IXO plate is a little bit shorter because it doesn't extend all the way into the adjustable fifth wheel plate. The fifth wheel location looks like they're in the same spot, so they shouldn't have a problem hitching up trailers, but IXO used a slotted fifth wheel instead of a round fifth wheel. By that I mean it's got the key slot for the trailers that you turn sideways, drop in place, and twist that locks them in place, whereas the DCP just has a straight kingpin. I wish they had gone with a straight kingpin, but that fifth wheel mimics exactly the fifth wheel on the 43rd, so I see why it's there. And since they did do us some trailers in 43rd, I bet we get some trailers in 64th coming sometime soon, and they'll probably have that lock. I wish they would stick with this standard, but it is what it is. They both back here have mud flaps on the back. DCP used this bar that's all in gold with the brake lights tampoed in red and backup lights in white. Then they painted the mud flaps white. Actually, they're individual pieces painted white. And then they tampoed on the Bicentennial graphics. Whereas IXO went with just a nice silver bar, painted all the lights red. There's no backup lights. A lot of trucks didn't really have them. And then they painted the mud flaps black with the silver weights at the bottom. They also put a license plate back here, which most American trucks don't. I don't know why. I'm guessing in Europe they are required to have a license plate back there on their tractors, and they don't really understand that we don't over here, but that's okay. DCP also put a piece here, which is a chrome plastic add-on grill. They just left it molded and they didn't even put grill. So DCP is a little better. Overall, yes, the DCP is a little bit better. The DCP cab does tilt. The IXO does not. And you got the full detailed engine under there. And it looks like they got a brown, it's probably a Cummins and 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel under this one. Whereas they saved on that because they didn't have to even make all that parts because they didn't make their cab tilt. Now, which cab do you like better? You know, I like both. I'll be honest with you. I think both of them are very good models. The DCP has a little more detail. Is it worth double the price? For a cab alone, even though you can't get cabs from DCP when they sell them by themselves, when people are selling them, this cab would go anywhere from $65 to $85, while this cab goes $35 to $40. Is this really worth that much more than this? I don't think so. I think this has all the detail we need for a layout in reality. And for the price, much, much better piece. Whereas this one, it's a great piece. It's got more detail, but I don't know if it's really worth as much detail. And of course, with the trailer, it's way more than that these days at DCP. And then let's go on and see if this trailer will hook up to the IXO. I'll put the landing gear up because you wouldn't haul it with landing gear up. We know it hooks up to the DCP tractor. Let's see if it'll hook up to the IXO tractor. I'm half 50-50. It's a flip of the coin. Which do you think? Do you think it's going to hook up or do you think it's not? Pause it, let me know down in the comments, and then watch the video and let's see what happens. There you go. It hooks up. Unfortunately, because of the way they make their kingpins, the trailer is actually sitting all the way down onto the chrome half fenders, and that's not good. Chrome half fenders also are a little too wide, so they stick out a little too far past the trailer. And I do believe the cab and the trailer are the same width. I need to check against the DCP. I think the DCP is a little bit wider, come to think of it. Nope. They're the same width, so they're okay. And there we go, guys. In the back, you have the DCP by First Gear Kenworth K100 with 40-foot vintage reefer van trailer for the VIT 200 Bicentennial edition that Kenworth made to celebrate our anniversary and the 200th birthday of the United States of America. And in front, you have the brand new release from IXO, the new 1/64 scale Kenworth K100 Aerodyne that they produced, and it is painted in the Bicentennial VIT 200 paint scheme. It does not come with a trailer. I do have both of these still available on my website, and the link will remain there until they're sold out. Once they're sold out, the link will disappear, and that'll be it, and good luck. The VIT 200 DCPs have done very well and have been long sold out at DCP, and I'm down to my very last one here. And then the IXOs are brand new and selling really fast, so you want to get those too. Let me know which one you like better. I'm betting I have an idea, but drop them down in the comments. And also let me know if you're interested in the IXO trucks and are you going to add those to your collection. I can just about guarantee you every release the IXO makes, I'm going to put in my collection because them are some really nice models in 64 scale. And I've got the new IXO Pete 281/351 tooling that they have just come out with, and I'm going to do a comparison with it and one of the DCP Peterbilt 351s that they have come out with quite a while ago, and we can see who did a better job. So subscribe so you don't miss that video because you don't want to miss it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.